We continue to follow breaking news in Hawaii. Wildfires have devastated parts of the island of Maui.
We know at least 6 people have died so far. At least 24 are hurt, and officials say those numbers could definitely increase. Most of the historic town of Lahaina is ash and debris right now. This includes Front Street, which is a popular shopping and dining area. Officials are urging people not to travel to Maui right now. They say it's not a safe place to be.
Our own Mike Cherry is from Hawaii, actually born and raised on Maui, where this is happening right now. Give us some perspective, Mike, on what is going on there on this island that's really only, what, 50 miles from end to end?
From point A to point B, yeah. So this is the drier side of the island. We're talking about the west side. That is where Lahaina is located. There's also another fire located on the south shore. That is in Kihei. But in Lahaina, that is where you're seeing a lot of the dramatic video. And again, like I mentioned, this is the driest side of the island. We don't know exactly what caused these fires just yet, but these are highly touristy areas. A lot of folks are very familiar with Lahaina.
And where this is happening, it's in a historic area, maybe 200 years old. This is kind of like our old Sacramento and our Front Street, except for much longer. This is about a 2-mile stretch along Front Street where we're hearing stories of people running into the ocean to escape the flames. And I was wondering, well, how could that be? Well, just think about if all of Old Sac was on fire and you were there, you would jump into the river. And
there's not exactly a lot of beach. I mean, you think about coastline typically in a place like Hawaii, and you think, oh, there has to be a lot of beaches. In this particular area, there are not a lot of white sand beaches. It's pretty much, you got the street, a shop, and then you're right in the water. So locations along this Front Street area, folks said that the fire had spread so quickly, they had no other options but to jump in. The U.S. Coast Guard was able to scoop up, I think they said at least 12 people that we know of. But that shows just how quickly this fire is spreading. I kind of mentioned earlier on our morning show, and you touched on it, it's a 2-mile stretch. It would be like if all of J Street just went up, and that stretched from I-5 to the Cap City Freeway. So we're talking about a very significant stretch of area.
Isn't necessarily where there are a bunch of hotels and where tourists are. Talk about these homes that we're seeing here.
Yes, if you take a look at this video right here, this is just on the opposite side of Front Street. You know, a lot of folks do think of Lahaina and think of Front Street as far as being very touristy, but it's really intertwined with a lot of residential homes. So you're looking at this street, and this particular neighborhood is right behind it. And I have heard some other reports already that fire jumped away from Front Street and started making its way up towards the mountain, so basically away from the water. And we've seen videos this morning of folks driving through neighborhoods and both sides of the street being completely engulfed in flames. And as you can see right there, and again, this spread so fast because it's not just Front Street that has a lot of older homes, just the neighborhoods surrounding Front Street and downtown Lahaina town, a lot of older homes right there made of wood. Can go up like that.
Yeah, this is very similar to if it started in Old Sac and then came into downtown and midtown area. This is some other video that we're seeing right here. And I mean, look at, you can see those old buildings and you can see the flames, and the wind is is just so frightening.
Yeah, they were saying that in certain parts the gusts got up over 60 miles an hour. And again, this is video of Front Street, what we were talking about earlier. This is pretty much a straight shot looking right down. And you can see these folks definitely in awe of what's happening because there's never been anything quite like this. There tend to be fires, and they tend to be grass fires that you'll see in Lahaina and on the drier side of the island, but you never really see it impact structures the way that you're seeing it right here. That right there, that fire is right in the old Lahaina pizza restaurant. Again, this is a very historic district. This is about midway of Front Street if you're just looking right down the pipe of that historic district. And again, we haven't seen exactly any daytime video, too much of it rolling in just yet, but what we do know is there's a lot of reports coming out saying that much of that has just been leveled.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw the above ground power lines, and that's obviously when those catch on fire. I mean, that could just create problems after problems. I know if this were happening here in Sacramento, my hometown, my heart would be breaking. So my heart goes out to you and your family. I mean, this is where you were born and raised. This is your Sacramento for me.
It really is. And you know, real quick, as of this morning, phone coverage was really spotty. There's internet was down. The phone lines have been down. The towers have been down. So really, they're not really allowing folks, if you're trying to get into Lahaina, to enter that city. So if you do have loved ones out there, just be patient. Thankfully, there are a lot of shelters that are open right now for folks to get to. And, you know, just be patient because hopefully they'll be reaching out to you very soon.
And are you able to get in touch with your family? Your family's on the opposite side of Maui.
The majority of my family is in the Haiku, so the northeastern part of the island, but I do have some family and friends that are in that location, and as of this morning, I hadn't been able to really get in touch with them just yet. So, you know, again, I have to take my own advice and just be patient.
Yeah, well, I'll be praying for them and your
Yeah, thank
family
you.
and friends. And of course, we'll continue to follow this here on KCRA 3.